Hey, welcome to episode number 170 of the Ask Vishwanath show. It's a beautiful afternoon here and I hope you're having a great time. And today is part 7 of why bad things happen to good people and what does Krishna and the Great Ones say.
You ask questions and I answer them. This is the Ask Sri Vishwanath show.
Alright, so I really encourage you to watch episodes 154 to 159. We had wonderful stories, beautiful messages, lots of people wrote to me and it's really incredible. And I put my best stuff out there, and if you really go through the stories and catch hold of one of those that appeal to you, I think you'll make a transition very fast. Alright, so just a quick recap. We said that during bad times, this basically exposes your tamas guna, it doesn't do anything. We all have this divine instinctive and reasoning capacity. Divine is the sattvic, the reasoning is the rajasic, and the instinctive is the tamas, all the dejection, sadness and all those things. So during bad times, our tamas guna is exposed. It's all there during good times also, but we just don't, because it's under control, we can. So bad times just expose our tamas guna. We saw that, and we also saw we saw 6 stories, all wonderful stories, because stories are a great way to relay the spiritual laws and we understand things. But the first story we saw about the king and minister, how everything happens for a reason. Second story we saw about the pigeon and eagle, very important. The pigeon becomes afraid and then it asks for help from the eagle, and how it takes it to a place where it actually gets killed. So during bad times, when the tamas guna is on the top, it makes you think in a certain way and you ask from help from normal people based on your fear, anxiety, doubt, frustration, and it's just like a trap where time swallows you up. So always go back to the shore, we saw that, and then destroy the tamas guna, and then take action. Very important that before you take any action during bad time, first go back to your center, to your consciousness, then destroy this guna, lower the flame, and then go to the take action. Then we saw the story of Tulsidas and the bad woman Reina. How Tulsidas got attracted to this bad woman, but later on he transcended that and he wrote the great Ramayana. Very important. What was the tipping point? Then we saw in my case, my story, where how I started wanted to prepare food in the United States, and I kept the I started preparing okra, but as I started doing that, I put the flame on high and went to take a bath and said I was getting late for work, and by the time I came it was all roasted. So even though my mother told me, even though the recipe, everything said you got to keep the flame on low, and everyone told me 50 times, still I will always keep it on high, go to take a bath and it will have roasted. I did that I think for at least 3 or 4 months. I don't know why, but the whole thing is, all I had to do was keep the flame low. You see, if we can keep the flame of sadness, dejection, lowness and all, which actually is coming from us, we can keep it low, we would have won the game. So very important. And then we saw the story of Kalidasa in episode 158. Very important, beautiful story of how a fool became such a great poet. And then yesterday we saw the story of Ram and Kaikeyi, very powerful. So in all those things we found out that the basic problem during bad times is lack of faith in consciousness. You see, during good times we don't go back to the consciousness. We feel as if we are doing all these things. It's actually the Rajas guna. You see, Maya just takes the form of Rajas guna. So when pleasure, power, money, fame and all is coming, you feel, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and everything is coming from outside. And so this pleasure feeling comes from inside and we don't notice it because it's acceptable, right? But it's like Ramakrishna gives the story of the potatoes. When you cook food and boil potatoes, the potatoes are dancing like when it boils. And Ramakrishna says, but when you put the gas off, the potato just goes down. So we are all like the potatoes who think we are doing all the stuff, but it's actually the script and the gunas. And it's just this gunas, time is in your favor, and so the gunas are making you do all these things based on the timeline. And so we get this pleasant feeling during good times in the form of Rajas Guna, the pleasure, all this excitement and all. And we don't understand Maya during good times. But in bad times, Maya, the Tamas Guna shows up, and so all the sadness, dejection, frustration comes up, and we don't really get it. So we say, oh, it's coming from outside, you see. So it's very, very important that we go back to the consciousness. And second is, we've found that you got to lower the expectations from others. Just lower it down by 90%, whatever you expect from others, you will be already, have saved lots of frustration. The third is have gratitude for what you already have. So we saw all that stuff. And then I told you the exercise of how to write, divide the page in two, and on the right hand side, write all about the events in your life, like why I'm feeling low because I lost my job, I'm feeling low because this one said someone, I'm feeling low because she's behaving like that, I'm feeling low because he is behaving like that, whatever. All those based on external events outside. And then on the left hand side, write it based on the negative force, like I don't know how this, from where this feeling low is coming. How is it coming? I want to flush it out. This is a negative force, I don't want. So you can look at the same thing as a force, as a negative force, or you can look at it as an event which created the negative force. You see, so as you keep writing this, suddenly you notice that both the things are in mind. This is a choice. You look upon it as an event, or do you look upon it as a negative force coming from inside? All the great ones say that this is unreal and this is real. There's a negative force which is coming. All you got to do is lower the feeling. So we saw all that stuff, and today we are going to do one last story, which is the story is also beautiful. It's the story of Narada. Now, Narada was a great seer, was a great sage, and he had conquered all temptations, craving money, power, and all that stuff. And he was like flaunting his power of that no woman could tempt him. And so he was saying that, other people think that only Shiva, the Lord of Destruction, Vishnu, has that power. But even I have that power, that they are the only two people. They are not the only two people, I too have that. And so one day Narad went to Shiva and told him, well, he kept on flaunting before him, saying, you see, I too have your power. People think that only you have the power, but I also have the power. No woman can tempt me and all that stuff. I've conquered the lust feeling. And Shiva was quiet, he didn't say anything, but he told him one thing, don't say this to Vishnu. And, Narad, as usual, flaunting his pride, and he didn't listen to that advice, and he went to Vishnu also, and he met him, and then during the conversation he said, well, people think that only you and Vishnu, you and Shiva could conquer temptation of women, but I too have conquered it. And Vishnu did not say anything, he smiled. And so then Narad, started his onward journey to Earth, because he could travel anywhere from heaven, Earth, and all the parallel worlds beyond. So he came to Earth, and there was this beautiful lighting in a kingdom, a lot of celebration also. Narad just glanced down to look what was happening, and he saw that a king of a very prosperous kingdom, her daughter was married, and the way the daughters used to get married earlier of the kings, so that they would choose the the person with whom they had to marry. So all the eligible people from all over the world would come, and they would qualify, and they would sit in a room, the palace, and then the queen would, and then the daughter of the king would just go before each one of them, and then based on whom she thinks fit, she would put the garland. So that's called a Swayamvara. And so this daughter of the king was very devout to Vishnu, because she always prayed to Vishnu, and so she wanted Vishnu as her husband, a form of Vishnu as her husband. So whoever she thought would have that form, she's going to put the garland. And so Narad came down, and he obviously read the mind of the woman and of the daughter of the king. And so as he was, so he met the king, and he saw the daughter, and the daughter also saw him, but she just ignored him. And Narad was so full of anger that, Narad thought, I am the greatest person who has conquered all these things, and this daughter, she's beautiful, but she's ignoring me. So he said, I'm going to get the face of Vishnu so that during the Swayamvara, she will garland me, because she loves Vishnu. So Narad meditated on Vishnu immediately and told Vishnu to grant him his face. And in meditation, Vishnu appeared and he said, yes, tathastu, meaning yes. And so Narad was very happy. He had got the face of Vishnu and he was standing in the line, and the queen and the daughter of the king was going to every person, said no, she rejected everyone. And then she came to Narad, and Narad was beaming with joy, that, she's going to put the garland on me, because he had forgotten that he had conquered it, but at that time he just fell for her beauty and charm and all that stuff. And Narad was there. He was so happy that the daughter of that king was going to put the garland on her because he had the Vishnu face. However, as the daughter of the king came to him, she laughed and she went to the next one, and then she went to the next one, and Narad was shocked, and all the assembly started laughing at Narad. And Narad was so angry as to, how could Vishnu probably cheat me? I am the greatest devotee of Vishnu also. And he went directly to his room and he saw the mirror, and the mirror he saw that he had a monkey face. You see, Vishnu had given him a monkey face. That's why everyone was laughing, and even the daughter of the king did not put the garland. And Narad was so upset, that he said, I'm going to meet Vishnu, I'm going to complain to him, this is so humiliating. And he, started on his journey to Vishnu. And in between itself, Vishnu came in another form and just reminded him in a thought that all I did, Narad, was to help you retain that position that you had conquered all temptation. Just imagine if I had given you the form of Vishnu, she would have garlanded you, you would have been married, and you would have fallen down to all the temptations of lust and craving. And Narad's eyes opened, and he understood that Vishnu actually helped him by giving the form of monkey, so that he remains that wonderful devotee of Vishnu, and he remains that same position as to the one who has conquered all temptation. And Narad that day got a lesson that all these things happening, that he has conquered lust, he has conquered craving, which is nothing but the Rajas Guna, only because of the grace of Vishnu, because of the grace of God. So this is so very important, the story, that Narad thought that he had conquered this big force of lust craving. People think, I have got to do this. I am doing this meditation. I'm generating all this wealth. I am doing all this charity. I did this. I built that empire. I did that. All that nonsense. People think it's all because of this gunas, and in 1 second, all that can be razed or destroyed. And if you don't have it's all by the grace of God, and all of that is a play of the gunas. Very, very important. That's why the grace of God is so important. That's why Krishna says, works on all sides are done by the conscience of Prakriti. He who is deluded thinks I am the agent. So Krishna says, works on all sides are done by these gunas. Any action that you do is done by the gunas. It's very, very important. And he who is deluded, the deluded thinks I am doing it. But the wise ones know that is all the play of the gunas, and that's why they know all this in appearance, and Ram knew that this is nothing. All this is gunas, very, very important. That's why the great people know that they are two different things. So I want you to take a pen and write this down. You see, the external events, the scenes happening in your life, every day there are scenes, right? Every day there's a scene, every moment there's a scene. The external events, scenes happening in your life, and the gunas, the flame, is two different things. You see, what is important is Maya, the illusion, combines, the gunas and external events and makes it appear as if your gunas are dependent on the scene, as if the scene, that the scene happened and you react. It's very important that great ones know that these are two different things, that this is the guna. The gunas are the gunas and the scenes are the scenes. But Maya which is the world of illusion, which is so sort of like dangerous that no one could, it's like in a split second it just destroyed you. It combines these two and makes it appear to you as if these gunas are coming from outside. You see, as if the external event is driving this. No. The scene is a scene, it's based on the script, and the gunas are completely under your control. It's all fixed, and you can lower the flame. But Maya makes it appear as if these gunas, that means if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling dejected, it's coming from that external event. So this external event happened, so this got, so all these things are coming inside of you. No. Great ones know these are two separate things, and that is why they don't fall into the trap of Maya. They are detached to the scenes. They know that this gunas is all coming from inside, and just by lowering the flame, they can, be detached from the scene, as well as not have the taste of dejection, sadness, frustration, because they're always centered. See, because they know very, very clearly that they have only 30 seconds to win. You see, we saw in earlier videos, and there is every center, a circle. All circles have a center, and the center is your consciousness. And the circle, every circle is a circumference. The circumference is where, all your thoughts, action, and events happen. The outer circumference. But inside there are another two circles, which is the script and the gunas, which these two are invisible. So people think that only this circle exists. You see, this of thought, action, event, it's all thought, action, and event is all predetermined based on these two circles of script and gunas. And that's why people just keep on moving around the circle, and the circle is already formed. But we think we are going to form this next. No, this is already formed. And our job is to get to the center. But we, instead of getting close to the center, we are moving around the circumference and saying, this is not working, that is not working. It's just the timeline. During good times, you don't get it. During bad times, all our tamas is exposed. So great ones know that these two things are different, the gunas and the script. And these are just the scenes which throw up based on the, script. The scenes happen in the outer circumference, and the gunas are completely under your control. They come from inside of you. They can be easily regulated. Maya is what is it blinds you, and you only see the circumference, not even the center. And the great ones know this entire diagram. There's a circumference outside, the center inside, and then there are these two things inside. So that's why they are easily detached to the scene, and they know that this is nothing. If you lower the flame, that is gone. You will not have distaste. You will not have sadness. You will not have dejection. Nothing. You will know that it's just a scene. And so you'll always be centered, and you can then do wonderful action, because you can do whatever is needed to be done. You see, the scene will run based on whatever has to be done, but you will not have dejection, sadness, frustration. Maya makes you believe that that is coming from outside. No. Krishna says, no, that's not how it is. We are combining these two things. You see, that's what great ones do. That is Maya. That's why you get only 30 seconds to win. You can be at the center, or you can move around the circumference. That is the whole choice of life. During good times, you don't understand because the circumference is going good. But during bad times, everything is exposed. And so people go from here and there. And in the end, even if it's good or bad, you don't get anything by going around the circumference, because you form another circle. So it's a choice as to, do you want to be at the center or do you want to be here? Because you can lower the flame. So very, very important. So always position yourself at the center and regulate, or position yourself at the center, know the circle. You see this video, and then regulate the flame. Don't mix these two. The scene is a scene, your feelings, which is coming to the top. The moment the feelings come, you say, oh, it's coming from outside. No. The feelings are coming from inside of you. Listen to this 1,000,000 times if you want. The feelings of sadness, dejection, or even excitement, all these things are coming from you, not from outside. You see, Narad thought all that is coming from, no, he had, the feeling of lust had come to him, and that's why he got attracted to her. But till that time he was not, because he had conquered. All the feelings that we get, which come to the surface, is nothing but it's coming from inside. It's got nothing to do with the scene. It's just that Maya makes you appear that these two are interlinked, the gunas and the script. No, they are not interlinked, they are separate. What is the only thing real is the center. All these two circles are formed, and the circle outside is also formed. So position yourself in the center, number one. Second is lower the flame inside, knowing that these two are separate, and then you can be detached from circumference. You're gonna have a wonderful thing. So I'll leave you with this verse from Upanishad. It says, "Sweet blow the winds, sweet flow the rivers. May the herbs be sweet to us. May the dust of the earth bring us happiness. May the trees make us happy with their fruit. May all directions bring us happiness." And so I say, may every second in your life be filled with love and joy, and may you prosper and be abundant. And that's my blessing to you. Thank you, and God bless.